So, what's up, guys? Welcome to another trade recap. So, I had an issue with the audio. It's unfortunate. It was about like an hour of just pure music, background music. I'm playing some background music right now, and I didn't notice that it was on max volume, so you could barely even hear my voice. But I got everything settled, and let me just go over what I talked about in the recording. So this was yesterday. This was Asia session. Last night it was around like 8. No, actually I remember it was 9 p.m. when I entered this trade. So around like 8:30 there was some tariff news which made the market dump about, let me get my indicator real quick. Right. So it made price drop about over almost 200 points. And I saw an opportunity because I knew buyers were going to try and take all this liquidity right here. So I waited for a good entry. I didn't notice there was an SMT here. Basically, what an SMT is whenever the correlating asset of Nasdaq, which is ES, takes out the previous high, or is just um vice versa. So here, this wick didn't take out this previous wick, and ES did. ES actually went up here, so this created an SMT. And I didn't enter straight off of the SMT. I needed more confluences. I seen this very bullish candle. Um, I guess you could call this in fair value gap. I was looking at the 15 second just for better entries. I know 15 seconds sounds crazy, but um, it's actually pretty good in Asia when the market is so slow. You can actually find some good entries. But it did create a bullish fair value gap on the 15 second. I entered 5 micros here, and then um, as you can see, it really disrespected it, but I was still very bullish. Um, so I entered again as soon as I seen it came back up to my entry. I entered another 5 micros. And so actually funny story, guys, is whenever I entered this trade, um, I was first looking at NQ, the NQ chart, and you see here on the right shows which market it lets me enter. So whenever I switched over to MNQ, this actually stayed on NASDAQ NQ, which is minis. And instead of entering 5 micros, I entered 5 minis, which is freaking crazy. So I entered 5 minis right around here, and you seen the market dumped right after that. So I looked over and I seen that I was down like 800 because I entered right here. I entered 5 minis right here, thinking it was micros. I was down 800 whenever this candle formed, and I was just like, yo. So I switched over and I just exited the trade. It's very unfortunate. It's just, I guess it was my mistake. Either way, I think when I closed it, I was like negative 1,000, so I was just a little bummed out. But um, I mean, mistakes happen. I was still like super bullish. I wasn't gonna stay in the trade with the 5 minis just because I was like negative 1,000, like right around here. So if I would have let this play out, I would have probably blown this evo. So that is why I entered with micros. I re-entered again with micros. And my target was this 5 minute. So let me go over that. So whenever NQ dumped, it created two fair value gaps. Created this 5 minute and another 5 minute here. This 5 minute would be called premium, but I wanted to get it on discount. So as you can see, it tried respecting this 5 minute, it tried going lower after, but it also created this 5 minute on the way up to that one. Created a 15 minute paired up with a 5 minute. So 15 minute and 5 minute, they were both pretty equal. I did set break even point after we took out this wick. I set my stop loss to break even for a risk-free trade. So as soon as I seen it kept respecting this 5 minute, I was like, okay, this is pretty bullish. I was really confident in this trade. Again, you can see how many candles this was. This is 5 minute candles. This trade took about 3 to 4 hours. I was getting tired at the end, which is why I closed it out right here. So created another 5 minute, respected it, another 5 minute, respected it. It was just respecting these 5 minutes, so it kept creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And it was pretty obvious it was gonna try and tap into this 5 minute. And on the 15 minute, there was actually a fair value gap right here, which is basically these two. And that is why I took partials here. As you can see, I sold 5 micros just in case market started to reverse and respect that 15 minute and just come back lower. So I took 5 micros there. Um, then I stayed in the trade. That other trade you guys just saw was from New York AM session, which is today. I'll go over in the next video. I just wanna go over what I did last night, trade I took. So it was pretty slow around here. Honestly, I was almost falling asleep at this point. It just kept edging my TP. So I decided to just set a stop, uh, to just trail my stop all the way to this wick right here. I mean, this candle. And it stopped me out. And it looked like I caught pretty much the top of the move. Didn't fully tap into the half of this fair value gap, but it came back lower after during London, which I was asleep. But either way, this was a pretty good trade. It was around 900, so around like 78 points. $900 trade. I wouldn't have held this so long if it wasn't for um that mistake I made, which was pretty dumb. I was negative 1,000, so I guess you could say I revenge traded, trying to make back the money, but I was also just following my setup. Uh, if that didn't happen, I would have most likely just uh probably exited here. But yeah, guys, this is a trade. Um, let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I do reply to every comment that I get, and I also appreciate all the support. I've seen the comments. It really motivates me to continue doing this. I deleted my social media just to focus more on my trades, and I know this is gonna work out. This is just a process. I've been trading prop firms for about 4 months now. I was paper trading the month prior, so total of 5 months. I didn't know nothing about trading back in January, which is crazy. Um, I know I still have a lot more to learn, but so far it's just a process. So make sure you subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next trader recap. Peace.